Finally got the bandage off, the dressing. There we go. Yummy, isn't it? Who wants some? Yum. I still think that's beyond me being able to deal with it, I still can't put my leg down. As soon as I put it down, my entire leg starts pinching and burning. Feels like my muscles are going to pour out of the damn thing. Anyway, what do you do? Which brings me to, let's have a look at what used to be a public service that we paid for. A public service isn't a free service, okay? Let's get that straight to start with. A public service isn't a free service. A public service is paid for with your taxes. You pay for it. It's called a public service, not a free service. It's a public service. Paid for. Already paid for. In advance. Let's have a look at them. The ones that have been hijacked, turned into institutions, and not in a good way, where the mechanisms of control and guidelines, which should be in our hands, have been taken and put in the hands of bureaucrats and ministers. The Education Department. What was his name? That bloke of Pine? Chris Pine, or whatever his name was? He used to be the Minister for Education. Why do we need a Minister for Education for anything other than to allocate funds accordingly in relative comparison to population, to ensure that we have a balanced number of balanced teachers, like well-balanced, well-rounded teachers, educators that actually teach the useful stuff and educate our kids to learn to think for themselves. That used to be the norm. We all left school able to do things for ourselves. My daughter's 16 and can't even cook a bit of chicken. Already cut up. I have to wear some of that, and Mum needs to wear most of that. It's only a couple of years ago I took the reins. When their mum ran off, I've taken the reins over. Now I'm teaching my kids to do things. My son is 19, level 2 autism. Right through the entire education system. They taught him some basics. Oh, thank you, Miss Luck. Old school Miss Luck. Such a shame that she ended up with cancer. Best thing to ever happen to my son. She got him confident within himself. She got him to be able to write his own name. To be able to work out which toilet he should and shouldn't go to. Those sorts of little things that you can't really do at home. We've only got one toilet. And we all use it, don't we, so? After she left, after he left her care, he went to Acton Special School. They were okay. They're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for some people. Brilliant for people with things like cerebral palsy. That sort of thing. It is a damn good facility. Probably the only decent thing Steve Cons ever did. Although he done it with stolen funds. Shreddergate. The level that kids are at is so poor, it guts me. The pass rates are abysmal. They all pass, But the rate that the level that they're at, it's a terrible pass rate. Because they shouldn't be passing. We've got blue-haired weirdos that think it's okay for kids to go to school in a onesie in high school. Completely captured and turned upside down by fruitcakes. Don't be thinking this is by any accident. You see, these people, when they leave the system, aren't going to know any better. These young adults. They're not going to know any different. They're not going to know the freedoms that we had. They're not going to know the responsibilities that we had. Like lambs to the slaughter. What's another one? Let's look at another one. Our judiciary. Now we can't put it all on the magistrates and judges, but we can put a fair chunk of it on them. Because they stood for it. Many of them left. Many left. It's a shame they left. I think that was the wrong course of action. They should have stayed to set the example. To ensure that certain cases were kept at okay, even though we're supposed to have a jury of 12 in any case, so that we don't get a biased outcome. At least they could have referred it to the Supreme Courts so that we did have a jury of 12, so that we don't get a biased outcome. So there's no favouritism. They've been hijacked by legal representatives and police prosecution. Anyone that wants to share this with Topher Field, please do. Because he's barking up the wrong tree quite a bit. I like the guy, but it seems like he's just bandwagoning. He's jumping on the bandwagon of things that separate us and divide us. He's concentrating on the things that make us different rather than things that make us the same. The things that unite us. It's what we need to be talking about. Nine times out of 10, especially in magistrates' court and petty sessions, the magistrate has had no authority in the outcome, has had no say in the outcome, because of private plea deals that are done in private offices. As soon as there's a plea of not guilty, prosecutors start dishing out plea deals left, right and fucking centre. They're handing them out like lollies. Like pedophiles handing out lollies at a kids' gala. May as well drive white vans around with plea deals, throwing them out the back. It's disgusting. You see, you know a plea deal is being offered because they don't really have anything. Your legal representative is not doing the right thing by you or the court system or the magistrate by trying to talk you into a plea deal when he knows you're guilty, even if he knows you're innocent. They'll try and talk you into a plea deal even if you're completely innocent, just because it makes it a win-win for him and the prosecutor. And you think you're getting a win. No, you're not. In the macro, in the long term, the big picture, everyone fucking loses. Everyone loses. That's not justice. That's revenue. That's not law, it's legislation. It's legislature taken advantage of. That's all it is. Legislature designed with loopholes. Designed by who? Look who's in charge of the country. Lawyers. Barristers and solicitors. Bankers. People that worked in the banking sector as senators. Ministers. Bureaucrats. Don't get me started on bureaucrats. The police service. It's not a police service anymore. It's not a peace Not a police service with peace officers. A public. They're not civil servants. They're not public servants anymore. They're the strong arm of the government, beating you over the head with legislature that they think is law. They don't know any better because they most of them fall under the category of these kids that have just come out of school that don't know any better. They're kids. Most of them are kids. You'll see. I've had admitted to me. You get anywhere up to 5 cadets under one sergeant, and he's trying to keep control of 5, even more cadets. And quite often that sergeant's as crooked as a fucking broken shoe. Bent as an elbow. Because you see, all these people drink at the same lodges. I know this for a fact. High Court, Supreme Court, big time solicitor, lawyer, barrister, Greg Richardson told me that himself. He said that in court. Right in front of me. When a cop tried to pull a Swifty to save his own ass, and he reckoned I was drunk when I don't drink. I don't drink. He was driving all over the road. And my window was a bit fogged up. I probably should have defrosted my window a bit before I drove off. That I can admit. And what did Greg Richardson reply with? Look, I think we've all been guilty of that after we've all been drinking at the lodge. Don't you agree, Your Honour? Yes, yeah, there's been times I've left like that, said Your Honour. Drinking at the lodge. Geez, that's got to be the Masons' lodge, doesn't it? What other lodge could it be? What's another public service that's been captured and turned into an institution that robs us blind and treats us for fools? Well, anything that was built by the Commonwealth. And you know, Constitution annotates the Commonwealth as public wealth and general goods. How does public wealth and general goods get generated? By we the people. So we are the fucking Commonwealth. The many are the Commonwealth, not the few. It is not a Commonwealth government. It's supposed to be the government of the Commonwealth of Australia. So I know a little bit of history. I know the changes made in our constitution unlawfully, without referenda. So we could say our energy sector. We paid for it, we built it, the Commonwealth built it. That was our infrastructure, our publicly owned asset. It was stolen from us. Now it's been privatised. And the people in administration of it, with the big CEO salaries, subcontract everything out to other companies that have CEO salaries. Now we're paying 4 or 5 times more for power than what we should be. What's another one? The Commonwealth Housing Trust of Australia is now, it was broken down into states. So then we had Housing Tas, which privatised it to Tassie Homes, Big Homes, or Homes Tasmania, Homes Victoria, Homes New South Wales, Homes South Australia, whatever they are called in your state. They are privatised companies that stole our Commonwealth housing. But it's a bit hard to steal it when it's given to you, isn't it? So, who stole it? A belligerent, unlawful government that runs on legalities and legislature. They're always passing legislature. And we confuse legislature for law. Why? Because we're dumb. Because we don't read. Why don't we read? We don't know how. We don't know how to comprehend what we read. Thick as two short fucking Ethiopians. Sorry for the racial slur. Not. Sidetrack. Ethiopia. Has anybody actually seen what Ethiopia looks like? Those little starving kids in Ethiopia aren't in Ethiopia. It's a load of shit. It's a beautiful, green, lush place. There's no hardship there. You're giving money to a lost cause. You're giving money to thieves. Okay, let's come back. What's another public service built and paid for by the Commonwealth that's been taken from us and turned into an institution? Have I been on about the health sector yet? Probably many times. Loaded with foreigners that don't speak our language, don't really care for us. Full of Hindus and Muslims. Some of them follow Sharia law. And they're here on a visa to learn how to become doctors at our expense. We're just guinea pigs. That's all we are. They don't give a flying fig about us. They don't care if we live or die. They can go back to their own country. In fact, they can go back to their own country. How's that? Go away. We don't want you here. How come our kids aren't becoming doctors? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why is our health system inundated with people you can't understand, who look at you with cheesy, sly little grins, don't talk to you, they don't tell you what's wrong with you, and just hand you scripts and send you off to the chemist? So you leave there having absolutely no clue what's wrong with you, even if you ask them. I've had them get short with me. Just go get this. Don't take these. How about you tell me what's wrong with me? I don't want you to know what's wrong with you, because you probably find that you don't need those pills. There might be something lacking in your diet. They're worried that you'll go away and fix yourself, and then we'll realise that they're irrelevant. They're not needed. And they shouldn't be here. Is that a racist slur? No, it's not. It's a common sense fucking statement. I can't find an Australian general practitioner. But I used to be able to find an Australian doctor. A local doctor at a local clinic. Remember when you used to go to the doctor? They still call it going to the doctors, but we don't have any. They're general practitioners. All still going to school. All the time. Here we go. There goes the siren. That's another one. Oh, the ambulance. Ambulances. Inundated with rude people. They take you to a hospital that don't have any beds. Yeah, let's get back to the health system altogether. It's a fucking mess. We're spending all this money on their buildings, but we're not getting more beds. We're getting technology that we don't need. That even if you do need it, you don't have access to it. You're not rich enough. You don't have enough mops in your wallet. Don't have enough mop balls in the bank. Ha! Our bank. You know the Commonwealth Bank belonged to the Commonwealth, right? That was our money. That built all of our infrastructure in the first place. That built our roads. It paid for our councils. Councils, I'll come to that. That built our train lines, our power stations, all of our public services. We all contributed to that willingly. It was given away. They created the Reserve Bank of Australia and teamed us up to the central banking system. JP Morgan and the likes. The International Monetary Fund. Foolish move. Look how broke we are now. Look at all the infrastructure that used to be owned by Australia. It's now barely even half owned. BHP. Can't give me a break. The Great Australian. Piss off. We built it. It's half owned by China now. We built 100% of it. How do you think we got our little temporary surplus couple of decades ago? The government sold all of our infrastructure and our assets. They sold us out. Our minerals and resources. Our mining sector. Leased it all out to foreign interests. Like MMG. MMG's a South African mining company. Why are they taking our resources and we're not getting any royalties for it? They're our resources. Not South Africa's. They're ours. Councils. What was the council there for? Let's see. We paid them through taxes, and then they decided to start charging us land tax and rates. Unlawful. We was already paying them through the Commonwealth Bank. For what? To take care of anything from the boundary of our property back to like stormwaters. Stormwater was a council problem. Sewage was a council problem. If we didn't have private septic. The footpath was a council problem. Garbage collection, council. Not a free service, a paid for public service. We already paid for it. Now they privatised our garbage collection. Watch that go through the fucking roof. Don't you think it's about time you all woke up? So I've got this saying that I say to people after 5 minutes of conversation, usually less than a minute. I'll ask them a question and the answer I receive usually, doesn't matter what the question is. If it relates to police or if it relates to law or if it relates to government, and they take the side of the police, the law, the so-called law, or the government, say, you sound vaccinated, poor thing. Incapable of thinking for yourself. That's what that means. Oh, you took the vaccine. Why? Because you were told to. You didn't do any research, you didn't look into it. I know people that are dead from that thing. New people. None of you used your brain. Why are you so too proud to admit that you made a mistake? Why? I wouldn't think of that as any type of pride. I'd be too ashamed to admit that I didn't make a mistake. Because there's no pride in admitting that you're dumb as a doorknob. Dopey as a dog's dick. No pride in that. I think you look fucking foolish. It's a shame. Because you people go to a bloody polling booth every election with your little pencil and vote. There's no one to vote for. None of them care about you. They couldn't care if you live or died. They really could not. They don't know you. Why would they care? The only time any politician engages with the public is to con the public, not to ask permission. You think about that. Since when was the last time a politician actually asked permission for anything? Not really asked permission. Asked for the Commonwealth's input. Federal referendum on the Local Government Act 1988, 1992, and went against it anyway. Oh, and that so-called referendum on gay marriage, that wasn't a referendum, it was a poll. It was a popularity poll, and they called it a referendum. You can't do a referendum by mail, and not everybody voted on it. I tore mine up and threw it out. I don't vote on anything. They're criminals. By voting, you're encouraging criminal activity. You're committing treason against your loved ones, against the Commonwealth. We're the Commonwealth, not them. I don't think you understand nor comprehend the seriousness of treason and treachery, subversion and usurpation. Look those words up. See what they mean. Just look them up. Go grab your dictionary. Grab your thesaurus. Look up the meaning and look up the in the thesaurus, the reverse meaning. It's really not that hard. Don't be so fucking lazy. I'm still doing what I can. I could lose that leg. I'm not even joking. So be it. I'll have to learn how to hop real hard. Roll with the punches. But don't run away from them. Start hitting back. These people are cowards and weasels, and you're letting them walk all over us. You're letting them walk all over us. I don't like being walked all over. I tend to get a bit fucking pissed off. Just think about it. All of these public services that we pay for them. Even if you don't have kids at school, you're still paying for it. You're still paying for these blue-haired fruitcakes to turn out dumbasses. These people are the decision makers of the future. If they get there. Because at this rate, we're probably going to have AI making all our decisions and drones telling us what to do. Fuck if I'm going to be told what to do by a machine. I'll smash it to pieces. And machines. Rise of the machines is happening now. Think about it. It's the rise of the machines. The rise of the machines is the downfall of man. You're not going to overthrow it. You're not going to compete against it by engaging in it with its rules. You can't use its own rules against it. Why do you think those rules are there? so that every time you trip over them. That's why they're there. So you trip over them every single time. Stop being so selfish and trying to get yourself out of trouble in court by taking fucking plea deals and shit. Stop it. Weak as piss. That's why we're in this trouble. That's why we're in this mess. Everyone's running around pointing the finger all over the place. Taperfield just done a story on that kid on the motorbike that died. Blaming the judges. Based on the shit that he read in the headlines. In the news. I can tell you now, the news only talks shit. I've got a story right here. Ah, Christ, that hurts. Jail time for mallet assault. March the 2nd, 2019. I'm the one that was assaulted, by the way, by David Miller, who's still getting around giving me death stares as if I'm the baddie. Why? Some people might believe that because of this diatribe. It's a load of shit. And it wasn't a mallet, it was an 8-pound engineer's hammer. One of them hammers with a short handle and a big square head. Hit me fair in the top of the head with it. Didn't you, Dave? Needed a gutload of Dutch courage, eh, didn't you? Eh, and a hammer. Not for the reason that said. Why? I haven't got my glasses. Otherwise I'd tell you who exactly wrote it. Because they turn up at the end of the case and get a couple of key facts off the magistrate. And they give them a couple of quick sentences, not even a paragraph's worth. They turn up, they look at the some of the court notes, get a quick brief summary off the magistrate, and go ahead and write a story about it as if everything they're saying is fact when they only turned up for one day out of about 6. They turned up and listened to his lies. They weren't there the day that I gave my evidence. They don't care. It's sensational news. It sells. It's got nothing to do with telling the truth. It's all about sensationalism. It's all about shock and awe. It sells. Bad news sells. There's another. All of our media, our news outlets, our newspapers. They're supposed to have a responsibility to tell the truth. Not to captivate people's attention with shock, awe and heartache. I lost the business out of that. I lost everything. My family became homeless. Because he was drunk and came to the conclusion that I broke into his shed and stole his chicken feed fucking tools. I'd had a business for nearly 10 years. I wasn't operating with chicken feed tools, I'll tell you that now. He's a drunken goose. That's all he is, a drunk. And a fucking idiot. I tried to help him and tried to help him and tried to help him, and that was the thanks I got for it. That's the truth. People need to start coming to terms with the truth rather than the convenient lie. You know, the easy to swallow convenient lie. That's all we've been swallowing for fucking years. Try swallowing some hard, bitter truth. It'll set you free.